You're listening to the Fayetteville 411 podcast, produced by the City of Fayetteville, where you will get information about city government and the programs and services we provide. You'll get topics of interest and an inside look into the various departments that help keep our city moving. I'm John Sally.
And I'm Sherry Crop. And today we're going to be talking trash. And there's no better trash talkers than our guests from the city's Solid Waste Division. Joining us are Daniel Edwards, Assistant Public Services Director, Dwight Francis, Supervisor of Household Waste, and Wendell Thomas, Supervisor of Yard Waste. We're so happy to have you guys here with us today.
Thank you.
Daniel, let's start with you. First of all, let's just go over how many residences that you service here in the city of Fayetteville.
We service approximately 64,000 residents.
That is a lot of trash.
It's a lot of trash.
That's a lot of trash. And I know recently that the City of Fayetteville and Solid Waste Division had an ordinance change.
Yes.
Talk about that.
So the ordinance was pretty old, outdated. It really wasn't consistent with what we were doing or what we needed to do or where we're trying to go. So we had to look at the ordinance, and over the last 4 years, we've made small changes. The recent changes were about service limits because our ordinance didn't have any limits. Residents could put out whatever they wanted, and we had to take it all, which is not sustainable. There was some older language in there that we had to update. So it was all about creating a new ordinance that would be consistent and predictable so that residents knew what they were supposed to do and our drivers and our workers knew what they were supposed to do. So everybody's on the same page. Right.
And this will improve the efficiency of it, because my understanding is that you might have had some residents that put out, I don't know, 12 trash cans. Mm-hmm. And if you have several residents that do that, by the time you get down to the end of the street, your truck is full and you're not able to pick up.
Well, it's all about everybody getting the same service.
That's right.
So if you have 5 carts out there, rollout carts, then, in the past, we would take all 5. Mm-hmm. Now we're only taking 2. Mm-hmm. So that gives everybody the same service for the same user fee, mm-hmm. Because it's not fair for some residents to be able to get more service than everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And we've got what we call a Know What Right Looks Like.
Know What Right Looks Like
campaign, to kind of help the residents understand all of these different things about household waste pickup, yard waste, bulky items, things like that. So they can visit the city's website at fayettevillenc.gov/solid waste to get all that information.
Yes, ma'am.
And what are some other highlights or changes that came with that new ordinance?
Like I said already, for household, it was 2 carts. For yard waste, there was no, people could put out their whole backyard and front yard, and we were expected to pick it up. So we have a maximum of 10 items that they can containerize items or ways that they can put out their yard waste. So that was another service limit. Coming to a private street near you, we have some private street stuff that's going to be coming that's already in the ordinance, but that we're working on it, that we're going to be moving some carts that are in some of these private roads that are not so easily to get down. We're going to be moving those carts to the main road so they can be collected. There was some, we were already doing every other week bulky and limb collection, but we reduced the amount of limbs that can be picked up. We went from 20 cubic yards to 10 cubic yards, which is consistent. If you go to the other sister cities, some of them, if you call them for limb collection at all, you have to pay every time you go. So this is a consistent, approximate amount that makes sense for us to do exactly what Ms. Sherry said, so that we can make more homes, because at 20 cubic yards, if we get 2 houses at 20 cubic yards, truck's full. We got to go to the dump. There's a big chance we won't make it back to do the whole route. So those are the main service limits that we did. We created some language things. We don't use words like right of way anymore, because right of way is so subjective. So many people have so many definitions on what right of way is. So we are curbside. We are curbside. That's where all our solid waste material has to be curbside. carts, curbside, yard waste, curbside, bulky and limbs, curbside, recycling, curbside. Make it easy for you. Not in your yard, not at your house, but curbside, unless you have a backdoor collection. And for backdoor collections, if you have an issue and you need backdoor service, all you have to do is call the call center. They'll get you in contact with us, and then we'll give you the forms that need to be filled out, and you can get backdoor service. So those are some of the things that we worked on. And like I said, it's to be consistent and predictable. We just want the residents to know what is expected.
And as somebody that just moved to Fayetteville, what are some things people should keep in mind or things they need to do to get service started, or as a new resident just kind of going through the processes for the cities?
Well, there should be carts at their house already. If a resident moves, they're not supposed to take the carts with them unless they purchase them. And the brown carts, the brown yard waste carts, are the only ones that they can purchase. So there should be carts there. But if not, all they have to do is call the call center, and the call center will create a service. Well, they'll put a service request in, and we'll create a work order and bring carts out to the house or whatever.
Also, if I could add on to new residents to Fayetteville, it's also good to know the days of the service. If we come on Monday for garbage, Friday is yard waste. So you'll see a rear loader truck. You'll see 2 guys or 2 girls or a guy and a girl in the truck. That doesn't mean it's your second trash pickup. Mm-hmm. So we do come through on different days with different trucks.
Where can they find their schedule?
Should be on the website.
FayettevilleNC.gov/solid waste.
And your neighbors.
Okay. So Dwight, we're going to move into household waste. You're a supervisor of that. When it comes to household waste, what are some things that residents should know? I know there's certain ways that they need to place their carts and where they need to place the carts. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, we ask that all the residents, if they can, if HOA allows it in some neighborhoods, to have the cart out the night before. Put it out the night before. If you have more than one cart, keep it 4 feet from any object and anything. Have your wheels and the handles facing the home. We ask that because when the truck dumps the cart and put the cart back down, they roll smoothly on the wheels. If they turn backwards, the cart would dig into the ground, the lid get hung up in the trash hopper, and trash can fly back into a resident's yard, and then they want us to come clean it up. So we ask them to turn it that way so it's easy access for the resident also to just grab the cart and pull it back to their home. They don't have to step in the road. They can grab it, be safe, stay out of the right-of-way or the curbside, and bring the cart back to your home.
So handles facing the house.
Handles facing the house.
Handles facing the house.
And also, if they are a new resident, if you can't reach anybody, talk to your neighbor and find out if the neighbor has information that they can share, because they're getting the service and they can give you a lot of valuable information if you can't reach us. It might be a Sunday you're moving in and haven't got a chance to call and ask for the service to get started, but watch your neighbors. Whatever they're doing, you do also. And then,
unless they're messed up, because I got a lot of neighbors in my area who put their recycle carts out on the wrong week. And if you're watching the wrong neighbor, you're going to do the wrong thing.
True. Just call the professionals. Call the people that know. Yeah. And now, how many carts can you put out for household waste?
Special circumstances will allow for more than 2, but on a regular collection day, 2 carts. Special, I mean, we do have deaths and bereavements in families, and sometimes they can ask for extra carts so that we can help them accommodate extra trash when they're going through that time of bereavement. So if the residents don't know, they can call that number 433. The call center will get with us and let us know that there's a special circumstance going on, and we can deliver a couple of more carts to help you accommodate. So we will collect all those on collection day, or even earlier we have to get it out of the way to ease your bereavement. But on any normal day, 2 green, 2 brown, 1 green, 1 brown, city-issued cart.
That's what my next question was going to be. Do they have to be city-issued carts?
Yes, they have to be for garbage collection.
Okay.
For yard waste, no.
So for yard waste, you can use just like a cart that you buy from Walmart.
From Walmart,
or
Lowe's, Home Depot.
32-gallon cart with a tight-fitting lid is the least.
Yeah.
And you're mentioning green and brown carts. What's kind of the difference there?
Or the brown carts we sell. The green carts are at every home in Fayetteville should have a green cart already. That stays with the home no matter what happens. If the resident leaves, that cart stays. If they purchase a brown cart from the city, they can take that cart with them wherever they go. They come with a warranty. They are cheaper than the ones you buy at Lowe's, so it's more efficient for the resident to buy one from us, and they can be used for either garbage or yard waste. Cannot be used for recycling. Garbage and yard waste, you can use the brown or green. They are interchangeable.
And the brown carts we sell they have a 10-year warranty. So we pretty much will repair them, replace them for 10 years, and if they're in good shape, they should last for longer than that. But after that 10 years, if something happens to them, then residents would have to purchase another one because all warranties go away.
So, Dwight, what is the most common issue that you've seen when it comes to household waste?
Well, not to be facetious, but the mailman does not collect trash. And we have so many residences that will place their cart right next to a mailbox. We ask for 4 feet separation from anything because the automated side loader has arms that's almost 6 feet apart. So when they close in, they need that much room to wrap around the cart safely and dump the can without hitting or damaging anything to the left or to the right. We also ask that vehicles are off the road on trash day. The drivers have to maneuver in and out of traffic, in and out of cars. And if your car is sticking too far out and we damage your car, we have to replace that car. The driver also gets punished for damaging the car because we ask them, if you don't feel safe and you're not comfortable doing it, just call it in, don't do it. We'll try to get with the resident, ask them to move their cars off the road so we don't damage their property and we can collect their carts without any issues.
And then also, we don't want to put them up under like
Trees,
power lines,
because the carts do lift
because
up.
of that arm that comes up.
It goes up at least 11, 12 feet in the air, and a lot of rain in the area, so the cable lines do droop a whole lot. And we are not technicians with electricity, so we don't know what the lines are.
Stay away from that.
So
we don't want you touching that, Dwight.
We're not trying to make them guess. Another thing we have in the city, give me a second, is there's a lot of construction going on in the city. A lot of construction. There are going to be times where we cannot get to your house based off the construction. So if that happens, the drivers will drive it in. We try to eliminate that by knowing where the construction is, and we'll let the driver go out early so he can get that area. But with so much construction, we can't be at all the areas in the morning. So if we can't get to your house, or if Waste Management can't get to your house, we should be coming the next day to pick that up. So it's not like we're not going to come. It's just that we couldn't get there based off the construction. And we just want to reassure all the residents that we have identified where we couldn't get to based off that. And we will come the first thing in the morning for that area.
And when you find carts that might not have the proper placement, or the resident is not doing something correctly, how do you notify them?
We have a tagging system. Where every driver should have tags with them at all times. And if they run out, take a picture, send it to the supervisor, and we can attach that picture to a service request and let the resident know what the issue is. But the tag has all the information on it. The driver will mark it and let the resident know this is what caused us to not pick up your cart this day. If you correct it while we're still in the area, we'll come back and get it. Because a lot of people just don't know. We understand that.
Yeah,
and we want them to know.
It's basically just to educate them.
It's just an educated system to get them on track with us so we can get the trash collected. We just want to pick your trash up and make sure that smell is gone when you get home.
Thank you for that.
And one thing to circle back on real quick, just to kind of highlight, and it's not just 4 feet from the mailbox, it's 4 feet from everything.
Any object, exactly.
Well, Wendell, we want to move into yard waste, and you are the professional on that. So there are several ways to set yard waste out correctly. Tell us how to do that.
Yes, ma'am. Well, for one, we, like you said, don't do anything, but we do 10 items. That means it could be 5 bags, 5 cans, or it's a combination of anything 10. If we get to 10, that's it. So we can have the cans, the 96-gallon cans, city-issued roll carts. You can do those. You can do the 32-gallon personal cart with a tight-fitting lid. You can do personal bags. You can buy the bags. Anything that you can tie and keep closed. We don't do anything with mixed trash. Everything, it has to be yard debris. The landfill that that the yard debris trucks go to actually is a different landfill than the garbage trucks go to.
Okay.
So the landfill that the yard debris trucks go to, you cannot take any household trash. We actually get fined for taking household trash to those neighborhoods. So, and actually we cannot have the cans. A lot of people like to overpack them because a lot of them now know that we only taking 10 items. If a can is overfilled, if it's over 50 pounds, we can't pick it up. If the truck can't pick it up, we can't pick it up. We can't service it. So it's a lot of education.
So it has to be less than 50 pounds?
Yes, 50 pounds or less.
So one thing that I had a question about is like pine straw and loose leaves. Why can't that be included in with yard waste?
If it is containerized, if we have it bagged or in one of the roll carts or one of the containers, we can dump it. If it is loose, if it's on the ground, we can't pick that up. That has to be called in with Parks and Rec. You have to call the Parks and Rec number, and you can schedule that to be picked up.
Yeah.
It is, I think, what is it, January?
They have
They
the
start
loose
around
leaf.
November, I believe. November or December, picking up loose leaf and loose pine straw collection. But that also can't have garbage in it.
Yes.
In the parks for their for the vacuum truck, you can't have twigs and sticks and stuff in it. It has to be all pine or all leaves.
Yeah.
You know, so there's still residents still have to understand that you just can't rake everything in your yard to the front and expect it to disappear because it's going to be there a long time. And then you have to do more work to fix it in order for it to get collected. So if you do it right the first time, whether you're doing it for the park department to pick it up during that loose leaf season or we're taking it, there has to be rules and regulations so that it can be consistent and predictable and everybody knows it's right. But that trash, what he talked about, is the biggest thing that residents, have a tendency to call everything trash or to call everything yard waste, and they kind of put everything in one barrel and just say, hey, you guys take it. When it comes to yard waste, there is a zero tolerance for trash.
Can they use their household waste carts for yard waste?
They can use the green carts. We would like if you use the green carts, make sure that it's clean, no trash. Because the thing about it is with the guys and the drivers that's out, if they open the can and they see one thing at the top, one piece of paper, I'm not going to have them to dump it because the majority of the time if you dump it, once you get to the bottom, the rest of it is garbage too. So now we have to stand and we have to dig all that back out. And another thing that we have a lot of problems with is a lot of them want to use the recycle carts. The recycle carts are for recycle. We cannot use the recycle. They will not be picked up. Whether it be the small one or the little one, it is regardless. We're not going to pick up anything unless it's, once again, the brown or the green cart or any other personal carts.
About the recycling carts there, what should they know about using them?
Well, once again, like I said, we cannot use the recycle carts at all. The recycle carts are just for recycling. So if you are using those, if it's the small cart, it's out of date. So we're not using it at all. We will, however, if you schedule it, we can come out and pick those up. We are taking those away still. The bigger ones, the 96-gallon carts, we will not touch them at all. A lot of people are calling in. They was like, well, maybe if you dump it for us this time, we won't use it again. A lot of times you dump it, you go back the next week, it's back out there again. So, yeah, we had to stop because if we didn't, the problem would still exist right now. So,
And if they paint them, we'll find out.
yeah.
Seriously, you have people that paint the carts?
Yes, ma'am. We had plenty of carts that were painted pretty brown when the new roll-out carts went out for the 96-gallon recycling carts. A lot of residents were taking those, painting them brown. And once the weight of the can hits against the metal on the truck, it rubs the paint off, and you can see the blue underneath, the pretty blue for recycling. And bad paint job, but pretty paint. So we were able to recognize that these were actually recycling carts, and we removed them from the property.
And Wendell, we were talking earlier, you said you even saw one that had wallpaper.
Yes, ma'am. Anything they can do to cover that blue on that can, that's what they would do. Is like you said, the thing is, it doesn't matter if you paint it or you put the wallpaper on it. We will find out, and the cart will be removed.
And one thing about it is, and I keep hearing this from residents, that they don't believe that the recycling is going to the Recycling Redemption Center. The recycling is not going to the landfill at all. Only time recycling goes to the landfill is if you seriously contaminate it, and we cannot bring it to the Redemption Center. Our recycling is going to the place where we got it going this year is Pratt, and it is being made into other items. We do know the end of life use on many of the materials that we send there. So the residents don't have to worry about some news that they heard in some other city about, oh, it's just going in the garbage. It's not going in the garbage in Fayetteville. We really want you to recycle. We are begging you. We are pleading. We are whatever we got to do. We really want you to recycle. So don't take that blue cart and paint it brown because you're just going to lose it.
And the amount of time and effort that they put into painting the cart or wallpaper in the cart.
Yes.
I mean, just call solid waste and get another cart.
And it takes less time to recycle.
Right.
And the volume of garbage goes down significantly. From 5-6 bags a week, my home, maybe 2 recycling.
Okay.
Recycling cart fills up, and it helps out a whole lot.
We can actually say, though, recycling is good, but I want them to understand that yard waste is not recyclable.
Yard waste
We've
is not
had
recyclable.
a call that come in and was like, he was using his blue can, and he said that, I said, well, sir, you can't use the blue can for yard waste. He said, I'm recycling my yard waste. and
It's renewable energy.
Yes.
It's not recyclable. So
Oh, they have
it is renewable.
It's 64,000 different opinions on how to do solid waste. So it's interesting. Every day is different. Every day is a new adventure. And every day you know I've been doing this for over 35 years, and I'm still shocked at what I see every now and then where I see something new. So, you know, the amount of residents that paint the carts here really blows me away. But like my guy said, it's nothing that's we can't take it like that. You know, we don't know what's in it. You know, we have to. That's why we give you them pre-painted with the pre-colors up there. Like Dwight said, the pretty blue and the pretty brown and the pretty green. You know, just use them for what they're intended for, and there shouldn't be any issues.
And Daniel, can you tell our listeners how they can get more information on the services Solid Waste Department has to offer?
Well, they can call the call center, like we talked about. It's 910-433-1329. That's 910-433-1FAY. Or they can go on the city website, fayetteville.gov/solid waste.
Well, we're coming to the close of the podcast here, and I want to thank all of you for joining us today. I know that you all work really hard and you're good at what you do, and you probably don't get thanked enough for what you do. So I'm saying thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
All right, and that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the Fayetteville 411. The Fayetteville 411 is one of several podcasts that the city produces for our podcast channel, Radio Fayetteville. You can subscribe to Radio Fayetteville, available on most podcast streaming platforms.
You can also listen to every podcast that Radio Fayetteville has to offer by downloading the Fay TV streaming app, available on Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and Amazon Fire TV. You can also view all of our video content by visiting faytv.net. To get information about city services, go to our webpage at fayettevillenc.gov. Thanks for joining us.